everyone. Welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe so that way you always get your episodes. But enough of that. Let's get right back into the episode.
So now they get some lobster, and it's like some wacky Jennifer Tilly with a lobster moment. Because Kathy's like, can you help me get some of this lobster out? She's like,
I don't know. Like, what do you mean with my fingernails?
Yeah, and it's like, and so it's like, you got this, Jennifer. You. To Garcel and Kyle, and they're down on another deck, and Kyle's like, oh my god, look at these cute towels, oh my god, these are Hermes, oh my god, no one knows yet, right? They're Hermes, oh my god, do they belong to the boat? Can I have them? Can I order them for delivery here? Do you think they'll take delivery? Can you Postmate Hermes towels onto the ocean?
Maybe it's a gift from Kathy. What do I know?
well, I have a feeling that they belong to the boat. God, it's so annoying. Boat beat me. Can't believe I'm jealous of boat.
I know.
It's so Kyle.
Kyle's eyes. No. I mean, like, listen, you got to hand it to her. She knows her brands because she can spot them in a second.
Yeah, the new Hermes. And by the way, you know those went missing for the boat. Kyle's totally stole that shit.
No, Ronnie, she totally paid for them because don't forget from last season, I love shopping. That's my personality. I love to shop.
I can shop anywhere. Airports, gas stations. So now Garcel and Kyle bond, which is kind of funny. I guess, it's funny because these people have been on this show for a long time together now, the current cast. Most of them in this configuration have been around, but no one's really friends on this show. Like, it's crazy, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of shows that are like that, but Garcel and Kyle aren't friends. But it's cute watching them pretend to like each other. I mean, I guess they don't hate each other, but they're not friends, right?
I don't think so. I think they get along.
But hey, they're allowed to try.
Colleagues.
Yeah, they're allowed to try. So they start talking. And then meanwhile, Dorit and Sutton are talking. And Sutton's like, now, I've been thinking about you. Now, what you're going through, it's really hard. And I've been there. And I want you to know you can lean on me a little bit. Just try to use less than 7 accents at one time because my brain, it hurts. It hurts when I'm around you. So.
And she's, having been through my own separation and then a divorce, James was the same age as Jagger. So it kind of throws me back to that time. Now, of course, I stood to gain a lot more money than Dorit does from PK. But, I do see parallels in some kid parallels.
I get $350,000 a month and Dorit owes $350,000 a month. But still, we do both have children with wieners who are around the same age. So now, it is kind of sad. For Dorit, not really me. This is fun for me, but I digress.
Sure that PK has diabetes for, but it's pretty similar.
Basically the same thing. Now, Dorit has always declared her love for PK, and I'm not sure if there's underlying serious tragedy in a love affair, but when that happens, sometimes you just can't use your judgment completely. Okay. You know who else hasn't used their judgment completely? Actual judges. And that's going to be super fun when they get a hold of this couple. I'm actually really looking forward to that. What was I talking about? Me! We're talking about me! Right. I'm bored. Could you just speed it along?
So you and Christian got separated first. Well, we got separated. He filed for divorce, and then I just became richer than a pig in mud, which I don't know if that makes sense, but in the South, we just say that sort of stuff. Anyway, it just went to proceedings, and it was 3 years. Wow, the whole process took 3 years. Yes. And I'm going to tell you, you have to think, gosh, how old am I? And is this the face I want to have once I get out of this divorce?
Well, I just want peace, Sutton. Peace. And then we cut back to Garcel, Garcel.
Hello, welcome to my bed. Soft drink. Soft. Yeah, so Garcel and Kyle are talking, and Garcel's like, well, I'm glad that you and Dorit, at least, you guys are trying to work it out. I don't know. I just feel like it's all so hard. Talking to Dorit, that is. She's such an idiot. But either way, everybody's going through something,
My boys are getting ready. For example, me.
And Kyle's like, oh, God. Here we go. Here's a conversation that doesn't have to do with me or me getting new Hermes towels. But go ahead, I guess.
Kyle just kind of pulls at her hair like, oh, Jesus. And Garcel's like, well, for me, I'm just trying to figure things out. My boys are getting ready to leave, and I know who I am career-wise. I'm Garcel. I know who I am as a mom. I'm a mom, but I'm just having a hard time figuring out what's next for me as a woman. I feel like a black girl missing, if you will.
Do I need a partner? Is it not a partner? Is it just me finding out when I'm not working or have the kids? I mean, I'm trying to figure it all out. Okay, Bravo, are you happy? There is a little personal story. Black Girl Missing, Part 2 coming out on Lifetime, Part 3 coming out on Lifetime, Part 4 coming out on Lifetime. Just subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you on TV.
I have opened up. You're welcome, America.
And Kyle's like, it's scary when your kids leave, you know, like, you know, people say like, that's like my whole life, you know, like that was my whole identity. I mean, I'm a mom and I'm a wife and like, I totally understand that. That's what I've been doing for years, you know, it's like, am I going to be alone? Like that scares me. Like, it's really, really, are you asleep?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just the thing I do. It's meditation.
It's just like really hard. Like when your whole identity is like being a mom, being a wife, being someone who was on Little House on the Prairie once. It's just hard. And she's like, the idea
As someone
that, like,
who knows Laura Ingalls, I just want to say it's really difficult being me right now.
I don't know. I'm just like really nursing these emotions because I was a nurse on ER once. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to have.
I mean, it's really hard when you were the one that knew George Clooney before he was extremely hot. But, you know, I guess we just all matured differently than others.
It's kind of funny, like, because we first met when he was on The Facts of Life. I'm sort of like a different person then, but like our friendship goes like really, really. I wasn't on Facts of Life. I was on a spinoff called The Opinions of Death. It didn't really work out so well.
Oh, Kyle. No.
Kyle, that's a lie, and we all know it.
No, Kyle. So then back to Dorit. She's like, well, she's feeling so grateful because she got a wave of support from someone that she never would have expected it from, which is Sutton. And Sutton's like, I mean, I don't know if you are going to get divorced, but if that's the road, then girl, I'm sitting in that room with you. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. Okay? You need somebody? I'm going to go.
What type of room is this that we're actually sitting in?
A gongo.
I don't.
We're gongo.
I don't know, but if it has a vending machine, you're in luck because my son knows how to service those.
I like that she say, I'm going to go. Because that's what I tell Bueller all the time. I say, hey, are you going to go potty? And then I start calling him gongo. I don't know why I think that's so funny, but just hearing someone say, I'm going to go.
It's sort of in the realm of, you're a cool guy. Kingsley.
You're a cool guy. That's what I tell Bueller when I'm waiting for him to poop. Gongo. Gongo.
So then Garcel and Kyle are now talking about Mo, and Kyle's like, oh, he's good. He came over on Mother's Day, and we went to the market, and he cooked. It was nice.
You know, it's interesting that she said that Mo and PK are so connected, and that's odd. It's ironic that they are, and you guys aren't. Also ironic that you allegedly know how to cook salmon, and yet you never cook whenever you talk about cooking. So,
well, what about PK reaching out to me? That was pretty odd, right?
Oh, Kyle.
Now that's interesting. Isn't that interesting?
Kyle's like, oh, I'm going to tell Garcel this because for sure Garcel will immediately take this to Sutton and Dorit, you know.
But also, like, all season, Kyle has been talking about how she and PK are constantly like joking and texting and whatever. But here she frames it like, oh, PK is reaching out to her. But like all season, am I incorrect in remembering this? She's making it sound like she reaches out to PK. Not even like he's reaching out to me. It's like they both just text each other and joke. Right. And she said, I'm closer with PK than I am with Dorit. She said these things.
Yes.
And so now she's going to make it sound like, oh, how inappropriate it is. Like the implication is, oh, PK is reaching out to me.
PK is trying to fuck me. And you know, it's because Kyle never lets anything go. And the whole rumor was for the past couple of years that Mauricio and Dorit were fucking. And it's made Kyle fucking crazy. And now here comes Kyle to start a rumor that PK is trying to fuck her so she can get one up on her. I mean, it's just so her. It is so her. And I'm just starting to enjoy it at this point. Because, I mean, I've never seen anybody be more themselves. I mean, here she is in the scene where she's sobbing, talking about this very relatable thing of growing old and not really understanding what your place is in this world, only to lead up to suggesting that Dorit's husband's trying to bang her.
Yeah.
It's so evil.
Yeah. Or, I mean, even if it's not as cynical as that, as like as like implying the fuckery, which is, I'm not discounting it. I definitely think that's there. It's still just because she knows this will hurt and upset Dorit at the very least. The base
PK
level
trying to fuck her is
frustration.
going too far, but a guy.
That's not
she's
too far. I'm just saying, like that's more like
PK's like reaching out to me all the time. I mean, what else would a guy like PK? You know, like you're putting that in people's heads.
Yeah, I don't think what you're saying is too far, but I'm saying even if that weren't true, at the very base level, like you start at a level of like, this is going to piss off Dorit that PK is reaching out to me, and that I'm also talking with him, you know? So
yeah, exactly. And she's telling Garcel, Dorit's biggest enemy on the show. So and Garcel, of course, is like, what? He does? Hold on. Did you guys get that? Because that was on my greatest hits album. What?
No. So then Dorit is telling Sutton, I am very protective of myself right now and who I trust. And so then now we go back to the lunch table, and Jennifer is talking to Bose, and she's like, so where are we going to meet your man? Like, what's his name again? And Bose is like, Keely. Ooh, Keely. Oh, okay. Keely, that sounds like a nice name.
That's what happens to, that's what happens to Dorit when he has too much butter on his potato.
I would love too much butter on my potato right now, I gotta say.
Me too. God, what a delicious combo. So she's talking about her man, and she's like, oh, Keely, that's my man. That's my man, my man. We've been dating for 8 months. So she tells us about this guy, and we see a picture. He's hot. And she says he's very kind, successful, generous, and fine as hell. And it was rough after her husband died because she had to focus on herself and her child and her career and stuff. And dating has been really hard. Like, they're intimidated by her. You know, she's like, I don't know if it's by my success. Maybe it's my height. Maybe it's my kid. Maybe it's a feather boa that I wear to every date.
She's like, you know, there are certain and now in this relationship, there are certain things that I'm tuned into, that I'm looking for, because recently I was completely lied to and completely fooled. And she says that the last guy she was dating was a liar and a con artist. She's like, Erica's like, well, how did you find that out? She goes, well, my simple question was, is he sleeping with his ex? And he turned to me and looked me in the face and said, yes.
So that's not really conning you. I mean, he was honest, but look at me standing up for the random guy.
Maybe he's a con artist, just a bad con artist.
He's just a con artist who admits everything right up front. I said, are you trying to take my money? And he said, yes. Damn it. Here's the thing. I want her to get back together with the con artist, because why would you break up with the con artist right before you go on Bravo? You're supposed to be with the con artist. Have you seen Dorit? Look at all the mileage Dorit's gotten off of it.
Yes.
Come on, man. Who taught you this game?
Yeah, but her new man is really hot, so that, you know, that will definitely lead to some sort of chaos.
Yeah.
You just can't. You just like, it just doesn't work out. Like a hot guy of a certain age in LA, it's gonna go downhill.
So Jennifer Tilly, basically Bose and Jennifer both get to talk now because the other suckers of air in the room, Kyle and Dorit, are off doing other things. So Jennifer takes over Bose's thing, and she's like,
well, when you're honest, you don't understand why someone would be making all of these lies. So I understand completely. I, too, was with a con man.
And she says that he told her he was going to be in Vanity Fair, and he's going to have a big billboard on Sunset Boulevard with his face on it.
It was Chaz Dean. Please tell me it was Chaz Dean.
What's a Chaz Dean?
She's like, you know, he was actually a fairly successful interior designer, but he was a grifter, and we would go out to restaurants and I would hand him my credit card under the table and he would pretend he was paying for the dinners. It was odd because it was a Bart Simpson credit card, but you know, he just said that he did interior design for Springfield. Anyway, he was a grifter.
So Bose is like, I don't understand that behavior. Can someone explain it to me? And Dorit comes back.
like grifters. Can someone explain grifters to me? Oh, here comes Dorit. Literally, Jennifer Tilly says, "Here comes Dorit."
New design for Beverly Beach.
So they're gonna go back to the hotel, and Sutton's still talking about how the captain's cute, even though I don't know. To me, he looks sort of like a low rent Jimmy Connors. like meets like a bar of soap. But seems capable.
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know. I don't see why Sutton's so hot to trot for this guy.
I think Sutton sometimes is just like, you know what I'm going to do today? Pretend I have a beating heart. Let's go.
Yes, that's a good. that's a good assessment. So, she's gonna write down she's gonna slip him the number. She's gonna give it to Dorit to give the guy. And so, then Kathy is like, "Thank you, Captain. Whoever you are, I'm Kathy Hilton. And by the way, can you give Sutton some help because her leg is bad? So maybe you could." Carry her down. It's kind of a thing that we do. We just carry her everywhere like she's Ariana Grande. Okay, go ahead.
She probably would have been able to walk off this boat herself, but the barbecue was terrible. So
she's ill from barbecue that was cooked solely on the bottom rack. I told you.
So he does carry her. And so it's like, oh, well, I guess I'm being carried right now. And
If you're single, she's interested. Oh.
so we get this wacky giving of the number stuff. And so Dorit goes, turn around and wave, Sutton. Is he looking at you? She's like, no, stop it. Well, I like that she turned, though. He didn't even stand there to look after her. Come on, man.
No. It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So now everyone's getting ready, and they're putting their they're getting their hair ready. Sutton has allergies, so she's trying to get her nasal spray going. And she's like, "Oh no, I think I'm running out." I don't know why I was amused by this. Her trying to get it going. She's like, "Come on, nasal spray."
So Kathy is sitting there, in a typical Kathy pose, just like back in a chair, like, Kyle, did you see that I have slippers that say Doogie? It's very popular, Kyle. Kyle, do me a favor. Would you put some makeup on me, Kyle?
I have a question. I want to say something. I just had a thought, Ronnie, that has nothing to do with this Brazil impersonation you're doing. I'm like the movie Brazil. You know what occurred to me? We're here at the end of this little mini vacay. The vacay was built by Kathy. She took them all out there, but the point was that she wanted to promote her bucket hats, and she gave them all a bucket hat. I don't know. Am I a little crazy to think it's a bit rude that not a single person put on the bucket hat? Dorit even put on a different bucket hat. I feel like at least they should do some silly thing where they're like, okay, guys, let's do a Kathy Hilton bucket hat lunch where they all wear it together because they all know they look ridiculous, but if they all do it together, it's a funny gag. It's like when they put the bonnets on for Salt Lake City. They didn't even do that. And I have to say, shame on this cast. This lady just gave you free bucket hats, but also a whole weekend at this, pretty decent seaside place. So
that's her thing. She's selling the bucket hats?
Yeah, those are her bucket hats.
Oh God.
Okay. They wouldn't given that they really were pretty rude about her tequila last time. This would be a good make good. Just have fun with it. I know that they get their glam and the bucket hats are gonna, smash in their hair, but I'm sorry. I would have worn the bucket hat for at least a meal.
Yeah, they should have done it at the beach day thing, where they had to be out in the sun all day or something. Yeah, I can see that. I think probably they just figure, fuck this lady. She's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and doesn't have to do anything. So fuck her.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So Kathy is in bed while Kyle's applying gloss to her lips. And it's like, I'm going to do it lightly. And Kathy's like, okay, but which one is that, Kyle? Which one is it? What's the name of the color? What is it? She's like, I don't know. I have to get ready. So I think Kathy's just holding a fan to her face, lying in bed.
And then Sutton is writing a speech, which is weird. The lady, and she's like, okay, I'm writing the speech. And the person who's with her, she's like, that you're writing a speech for dinner? She's like, uh-huh. She's like, well, that's a long speech. She's like, it's not that long. She's like, no, it's a very long-winded speech. She's like, excuse me, you are a glam team person, not the editor of the New Yorker. Okay.
She looks at her like she's going to kill her, and the makeup lady does not give a fuck. She's like, yeah, it's long. It's long, bitch. So Sutton's like, after watching this vicious fight between Kyle to Dorit, and then talking to Dorit on the boat, I think it's time for us all to come together and we need to feel supported, especially Dorit. It's like, Dorit is going to turn on you in about 2 seconds, right?
Yeah. And we're going to see it.
Dorit does not like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they go to this rooftop bar, and Jennifer's like, "Hello, girls. Oh, look at you. How fabulous as always." And then Bose shows up, and
It's literally
Bose is
Beverly
the-
Hills.
Hello.
I don't know why I'm trying to even.
Hello. Hello. It's like 10 minutes of hellos.
It's pretty. Hello. Okay, so then Kyle's taking pictures of Bose. She takes actually a really amazing photo of Bose. I was like, how do you take that with an iPhone? That photo was amazing. Did you see that?
iPhones take
so
amazing
it's-
photos, sir.
I know, but that was amazing. I'll give Kyle Richards credit. She took a very good photo. Good job.
Well, she's
Kyle.
also got Bose as her subject. I mean, good Lord.
True.
That woman is like perfect hair and makeup, like a feather boa, whatever the hell she had. She wasn't wearing a feather boa, but everything she wears is feather boa inspired, you know?
Yeah, it always feels like there's one on her. You know, it's like when people talk about like, you know, tall person energy or short person energy, or it's like you always think that, when you have like a friend who's always taller than you expect, you're like, I always forget you're that tall. You know,
Yeah.
It's like that, but with boas. It's like, I always forget that you weren't wearing a boa that night.
So they start talking about nude pictures and stuff, and do you send naked pictures of yourself to Rick when you're away, Kathy? And Erica's like,
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I mean, no, not to Rick. Sorry. It's the guy who looks like Rush Limbaugh, though. Are we talking to me yet? I wanted to say something here, Costa. Oh, God.
No, I send nude pictures to Rick, but it's Rick D's, so it's a whole different story.
Rick Moranis, God. Getting that guy hard on's a real gold medal, let me tell you.
he's still alive, right?
So, yes, he is. Kathy says,
Listen,
Rick
it's not,
Dees
he
and
wouldn't be
Rick
the
Moranis
first
are both
ghost
alive.
I've given a boner to. Oh.
I send my nudes to ghosts named Rick. It's weird. It's a weird process, but it works.
Kathy says that they have some nude photos that they keep in a safe in the bank.
He keeps it in a bank vault.
So
So
know
they're
when
all
you're
cracking
horny,
up at that because that
Yeah.
shit is hilarious.
when you're horny and you want to get off, just go down to the bank and fill out a form. Wait 5 minutes, go into your bank, find the box, rummage through the jewelry, go through the envelope, get the nude picture, go home, jerk off, then come back and redeposit it into the bank. It's simple,
Rick
really.
is just arrested one day for lewd public conduct or whatever. It's like in the Wells Fargo jerking it. So Kathy's like, oh yeah, in Caesar's Palace in Vegas, they have those beds and they have big mirrors on them. It's very sexy. Very, very sexy. So now the salads come, and I don't know why she makes me laugh so hard, but everything she says, and nothing is particularly funny, but it's just that she goes,
Wow, you have panzanella salad, my favorite type of salad.
I know. For some reason, it was funny to me that they served panzanella salad to this group. First of all, a salad that has like an emphasis
bread
on bread
salad.
is hilarious.
a
you
fucking
know?
bread salad. Hell yeah, it's everybody's favorite salad.
It's a delicious salad. I love the by the way, hot tip, Ina Garten has a great panzanella recipe. And she also has a great Greek panzanella recipe. I am Greek. Just so you know. Just a little hot tip for everyone. There's no joke there. I'm just literally helping people. I want to help people this holiday season with panzanella hot tips.
Also, here's another tip. You can make any salad a panzanella salad by throwing toast in it.
Yeah.
Always works.
Doesn't it feel like Panzanella should be the name of someone who joins the Real Housewives?
Yes. It's like a fresh divorce storyline, just trying to find her way in the world.
Panzanella Wertheimer. She's like, yes, well, my husband, he actually invented Tic Tacs, but, unfortunately, he also invented cheating.
So the chef comes out and announces the meal and all that good stuff. And, a lot of small talk. And why does Garcel look so good? Is she getting some? And she's like, no, I'm in love with my life. And Garcel's like, oh, yep, she don't have a man. And Garcel says, I would rather be alone than be on a date in a kitty sweater talking about my neuropathy. So I fucked that one up. I almost called it neuropathy. Which is what I call it. Ronnie.
And we see a flashback of Sutton at the Surly Goat. So Garcel's like, well, bon appetit. Oh, by the way, Dorit, bon appetit. That was a joke. No in advance. I'm saying no in advance, whatever you're about to say, Dorit. But I have a question. You reposted something Teddy wrote.
Kathy's like,
Kathy's
what?
like,
What happened? Well, Teddy tagged me in a post. What's her buttons? Dorit's like,
Well, Teddy tagged me in a post promoting her dad's concert.
And Kathy's like, oh, I don't follow her. I don't know what's going on. And Kyle's like, no, it was a video of all of us singing on stage with her dad, who we're not going to mention. It's like, you can say his name, John Cougar Mellencamp. It's okay. You can say it. So we see that Garcel, 2 hours earlier, Garcel's talking to Sutton and showing her the video. And she's like, look, she reposted Teddy Mellencamp's post with him in it. Sutton's like, well, Dorit can be very contradictory, and I don't think she understands who she is anymore, posting John Cougar Mellencamp videos while she's going through a divorce. I mean, I've never seen such horrific behavior in my life.
Well, she tagged me like I would ordinarily. I just reposted it.
Garcel's like, well, when we talked about her earlier, you said you weren't friends with her. Hold on, everybody. Dun, dun, dun. What do you think about that?
This is, I feel like, not a strong case by Garcel, but I'm enjoying it. So she's like,
it's a terrible case, but it's funny watching her come for Dorit for no reason.
Yeah, this is in an episode of season of tenuous excuses to be mad at people. I was like, you know what, Garcel, get in the ring. Why not? So she's like, well, I wanted to call out Dorit because it's such a hypocritical move. All of a sudden, she wants to help Teddy's dad. This is a story about Jack and a hypocrite.
Well, I didn't say I wasn't friends with her. I said I'm not that close to her.
And so we see a flashback to Kyle saying, excuse me, we're all close with her.
Well, I'm not close with her. Oh, now you're not close with her? Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting.
Which, that she immediately called Teddy and said, you will not believe Dorit said she wasn't even close to you. And then Teddy purposely sent this thing and tagged Dorit to see if Dorit would retweet it. Because, we all know how Teddy thinks. And Dorit fell right into it.
She's like, no, I said she is absolutely my friend, and I don't think she would characterize our friendship as that we're super close. But I was surprised that she tagged me, but I saw it was to promote her father, who happens to be a big cat who can sing, named Cougar, and I am happy to promote her father's concert, so I reposted it.
Do we really think that Grammy winner John Mellencamp needs Dorit support on Instagram? I do not think so.
Yes. I think that anybody in entertainment wants a retweet.
Anyone does. Was Dorit up there singing too, or was it just Kyle and Teddy? I don't remember.
I think it was that whole group probably went up there and
probably all of them.
There. But also, I don't think it was really to promote him. I think Dorit's full of shit too. I think she retweeted it because she's on stage singing with John Mellencamp. Why wouldn't she?
But no, I think this whole thing brings up
was
a
Dorit
fascinating...
in it though?
I don't remember, but honestly, I'm sure she was because Teddy tagged her. I don't think Teddy's going to tag Dorit in a video that Dorit's not in, to be totally honest. But I think this all brings up an interesting point, which is
Teddy's poison. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a twofold point. One point is that it is kind of rich that Dorit was so mad at Kyle for downplaying their relationship, and now Dorit is doing that to Teddy. But on the other hand, I actually kind of believe Dorit on this one. I do believe that they're friends, but not as close as Kyle and Teddy are. I think it's also rich that Kyle is here defending Teddy's honor, saying how terrible it is that Dorit is downgrading their friendship, when Kyle herself flagrantly did this to Dorit.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah. She's like, how dare you? So sounds like, hang on, I have something for us to do. Really, guys, you gonna do it? You gonna do it? Well, what? So she's like, okay, we need to stand. Everybody stand. I have a ribbon, and we're gonna put it around our hands, and we're gonna be real sisters. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna read a speech. She's like, oh, jeez, come on, man.
So we see a flashback. She was like, well, because she was saying like, we need to all do this because last year in Spain, that meant a lot to me when we did our little ceremonial thing about letting things go, mainly just Merce. And by letting go, I meant just like spreading him all over your dresses. And we see a flashback to that. And so now Sutton's like looking at her phone to read her speech, but she's like, oh God, I can't read. Okay, gotta read. And so they all start to laugh because it's funny. She's having this big moment, but she can't read her speech. And they all start snickering. And Sutton's like, y'all, stop it. Stop it right now. Okay, this is gonna be a special moment between sisters.
We are sisters. But look around. I mean, you've got the Hilton sisters sitting here. I don't think that this is a place to talk about how special Sisterhood is when these two are fucking each other over constantly. But also, Sutton making herself in charge of everybody being friends is like Dorit putting herself in charge of the fraud department. Like, what are you going to get a vest for her that's like, what do they call that at Ross Dress for Less? Where they're like, loss prevention. What are you going to make her the president of loss prevention? Come on.
And Buzz is like, oh, so it comes from her heart, but she can't remember? Okay. So they're making fun. And even Jennifer, she's like, no, it comes from the heart, and then you can see it. So Sutton's like, okay, y'all, I really mean what I wrote, even if my hair and makeup team did not appreciate it. And I thought about it, and I want you to think about it too. Because trust and honesty comes to mind as the backbone of real friendship and sisterhood and knowing people like Dolce and Gabbana. Okay, friendships are not perfect. There are many ups. There are many downs. You have to deal with Dorit. Sorry, Dorit. But twists and turns. We're all in this together in a sisterhood.
I'm sorry, but are we in cheer camp? Are we in Girl Scout camp? Are we in Browning camp? Are we in Nancy Drew camp? Are we in Catholic Girls School? Do you guys have anything that you can edit in there yet?
Are there any more camps?
So
let's put
Sutton's
our
like,
palms
okay.
together in solidarity of friendship. And so they put their hands in the center, and she puts like a blue ribbon over them. And Rose is like, I don't know what kind of incantations Sutton's saying under her breath to tie us together, but I don't want to be Miss Sutton.
True, solid friendships always stand the test of time. And I really want this to be our year. That we really bond.
I'm sorry, I messed that
friendship.
up. She was saying that it's like Sutton's trying to marry them. She's like, I don't want to be Mrs. Sutton. Sorry, it was very important to get that right.
Thank you for clarifying us. That's
Go
what
ahead.
a true solid
Go ahead,
friend
Sutton.
does is clarify things for other friends. And you
Friendship
did that.
is
You did
clarifying
that.
things when we need things clarified.
This is a sisterhood that clarifies things all the time. Okay, hands in the middle. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Not Kyle. I'll tell you that much because she doesn't call back. Anyway, I'm taking this ribbon. Okay. Now, by the way, can someone please make sure that the Eagle Woman is watching so I can do what she failed to do, which is bring us all together? Okay, great.
From now on, we are sisters, and we are not going to fight anymore. We're only going to be nice to each other. Even Ding Dong over there, right, Dorit? And Dorit's like, well, I really hope this ribbon does what Sutton wants, because maybe I'll have to use it to strangle one of these ladies after. Got one. Ding, ding. Ding, ding for the ding-a-ling, eh?
Okay, is everyone tied together? Kyle, did you just insert Teddy's hand into this? Hi, I'm Teddy. Can I be part of it?
No. So the next day, the women pack their clothes and start going to Beverly Hills, want to go back to Beverly Hills. And basically, that's it. It's the end of the trip, right? So then Sutton starts to pour herself some vodka. And Erica's like, whoa, girl.
Wait a minute, she's stressed.
Yeah, and they're getting into the Sprinter van because they're going to go back to Beverly Hills now. And they're all gathering together, and they're saying it's like musical chairs, whatever. So this is the vodka, putting the vodka in. Sorry, I was behind. And Kyle is like, my God, I am ready to start drinking again. And so I goes, y'all, I gotta tell y'all something. I really did not sleep that well last night, and I really like that, that we did the thing, but like y'all mocked my ritual.
Well, we didn't know you were serious.
I like the ritual, personally.
And Sutton's like, really? But the point I wanted to make, we can have disagreements. Oh my God, it's over. Let it die already. We can have disagreements, and we can be truthful with one another if you're honest and open. I'm sorry, but that's trademarked, and it's open and honest. Honest and open. Oh, from Dorit Kingsley.
Is it not honest and open? No?
No, I'm just going to say no. Blanket no.
So, let's talk about being honest and open. So Dorit's like, okay, let's do it. Well, there was a moment when you, Erica, kind of whispered something to Kyle. You were just talking about everybody getting along, and now you're immediately going to start shit in the car.
Yep.
So we see a
Right
flashback of Erica turning to Kyle while Garcel was talking about the Teddy thing and saying,
I don't think she said that. I don't think she ever said that they weren't friends. That's not what she said last night.
sounds like so. Erica's talking behind Dorit's back to Kyle in this stage whisper, and I feel very awkward being in a group of friends who are going to talk about you behind your back. Weren't you just talking with Garcel about PK reaching out to whoever? I mean, give me a break.
But also, like, what? Also, why didn't you bring this up at the table right then and there before your ribbon ceremony? So it could have been like you could have left it in the past. So Sutton's like, well, you said it quietly, and Erica's like, well, you thought it, and she goes, well, but I just wish you had said it louder. Okay. Real friends don't use stage whispers. They do either real whispers or real full voice.
Yeah, this is also tenuous. This whole.
I know
thing.
they're grasping, but it's like really working for me. It's because it's so petty. And Dorit's like,
Well, I just want to clarify this because I don't remember exactly what I said because, you know, I was in the, like, you know, Kyle and I are doing this, and I remember saying that I consider Teddy as a friend, like that annoying friend. You know, it's like when Normal shows up at Garfield and you're like, ugh, it's Normal, but I guess we're friends, you know? But I wouldn't characterize us as close friends.
I mean, we're friends, but like friends on the Facebook. Not real friends. She's not one of my follows, if that makes any sense.
So then we see a flashback to this argument about Teddy, and Kyle saying, excuse me, the same thing. We're all close with her. I'm not close with her. And she says, her and I are friends. We're not close. And then Kyle says, interesting. Very, very interesting. So we're back. And Kyle's like, I mean, this isn't even about Teddy, really. Well, it wasn't about her. Well, it is about her. No, this was about Erica saying something behind someone else's back. No, this is about me not being close with Teddy. No, this is about me not ever getting the respect that I deserve, even though I'm going through more than anybody ever in life.
No, this is about Teddy. Teddy Ruxpin. I sent him a nude also.
You want to see a ghost teddy bear get a boner? You should see him open my dick pic.
5 nights at Freddy's? How about 5 nights at Teddy's? Wow, that bear can lay it down.
so Garcel is like, she's like, well, Dorit doesn't get that it's not about Teddy, and it's about that we should be able to call each other out, work through it, and move on. It's not about Teddy. Although, I bet Teddy would be thrilled.
You know she is. So Dorit's like, Sutton, I was the one explaining to you. I know exactly what this is about. Do not confuse. Ma'am, do not yell at me like that. I know exactly what your conversation. You started the yelling. You're the one who just started yelling.
No, I tried to bring this group together last night. Okay, I went to Michael's. I went to some place called Michael's and I bought a ribbon. Okay, that is called unification.
Did Timmy fall down the well, old yeller?
Okay, I don't think I'm getting my point across, and that is why I am saying I felt like I really needed to hit it home.
I don't know if I want to be in this group anymore. I'm just gonna have a drink of this. So, Kathy, that's your eyebrow brush.
Oh, well, I guess it wasn't a straw.
This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say you never know which Sutton is going to show up. This is a very different woman to the woman on the boat who wanted to be there for me. Different mode of transportation, different woman. Gee.
Okay, guys. So I think the whole thing is that we should be able to say anything in front of anybody and know that it will be received well. It may not be received well, but we're going to be open and honest. Thank you. Trademark. Thank you.
So Dorit is like,
Okay, well, if we're being open and honest, it's a pattern where you will jump and yell at me. And if I match your tone, it's, oh, God, don't yell at me.
Oh, God. You know what? No. I'm not gone. Not gone. Not gone.
It's
not
getting
gonna do
old.
it.
It's getting very, very
Not
old.
gone.
Like
Not
Kyle's hands. Very, very old.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm annoying to you. I'm so sorry that I'm annoying to you.
It's getting very annoying.
Well, I'm not the one who is backpedaling and creating all this chaos. You were not going to do it.
Oh, now you're acting like a child.
Can we just get on a plane? Just go. Oh, you go on the plane. So Sutton ends up crushed at the end of her Sisterhood episode. So stupid.
disaster.
What a dumb show. I don't know. Now, I don't know how to explain how nothing really happens on this show, but it's entertaining. But then nothing happens on New York, and it's not. Even though we're going to disagree about that in the next hour. But I mean, in general, I know. I don't mean this episode. I just mean in general.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I don't have the answer. You know what I mean?
Because I think that these women on their own are maybe inherently more interesting, or they just like nothing. Like even on the old New York, nothing could happen, and it was interesting because their interactions over something trivial were very funny and interesting. But like when you have people like Bryn Whitfield, I mean,
it's the worst. But also, I believe these people. You know what I mean? Like Kyle, I think is one of the fakest, dumbest housewives. Not dumbest, but she's the fakest, most manipulative. I think of a lot of housewives. I don't find. We all know what I feel about Kyle. I don't need to go off on Kyle, but I do believe that she's being real. I don't think she's faking it.
I think she believes her truth. Yeah.
That whole scene where she was crying about how getting older and being alone and like worrying about what it's going to be like now that she's realizing like I could be alone, I may not love Kyle, but I felt like that was totally real. You know what I mean? And Sutton's weird insecurities and stuff like that. And Garcel doesn't do a ton on this show, but I think that is Garcel. I think that her whole life is work and making fun and snarky comments, I kind of believe all of them. Whereas I think on sometimes other shows, they're just trying to make something happen and they don't have anything going on,
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I love that. It's my favorite phrase.
I love that
everybody,
for us.
Thank you. So we're Sisterhood. So everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for watching us on demand, whoever's on demand. Also, you can gift Patreon to people now, which is fun. So go send somebody you love and whose eardrums that you'd love to burst the gift of us. Also, you can buy tickets for them for the Mounting Hysteria tour, which begins at the end of January. We're so excited. All of our dates are up at watchwhatcrappens.com. We're going to be adding Texas dates, Charlotte dates, other cities soon. So keep checking back there. We'll let you know. Check on social. And we love you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
It's always automatic with Ashley Auto.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Get on the right foot with Chrissy Offutt. Dana C. Dana Do.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey. You'll never hide from Heidi Eleanor Jones.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
She gets a name from us, it's Lindsay D. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Always killing it, it's Lola Alkalani.
We love her on the rocks, it's Melissa Cox. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
Have a heck of a time with Rebecca.
The highest tally, it's Sarah McNally.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
She's a whiz, it's Liz Sarthy.
The incredible edible Matthews sisters. She eases our woes, it's Melissa St. Rose.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.